In this video, I would like to make a summary on a class that Swami Shankaratilaka, our Venerable Master, gave us, titled as Recognizing Ourselves in the Action. It discusses the action from a Vedic point of view and giving us a Vedic approach, provides also reference from a fundamental holy scripture of the Vedic religion, the Bhagavad Gita, or the foremost source of Vedic knowledge in this Kali Yuga. The Bhagavad Gita is actually not less than a long poetic conversation between Sri Krishna, the great teacher of Dharma, the eighth incarnation of Vishnu, and his disciple Arjuna, the warrior yogi. It may come to you the question, why is it necessary to learn about the correct way of action, since we are acting all the time? We consider our acts to be good, according to our own criteria. In this world, we cannot avoid to act. Therefore, we are always taking risks all the time as we act. Because all actions cause a reaction, and we may not be well aware of the consequences unless we know the proper way of acting. Without the wisdom as a base of our actions, actions can contaminate us. Be it a bad or a good act, they both can contaminate us. It is very easy to understand that a bad deed has a negative consequence, but how should we interpret the contamination of a good deed? It doesn't make sense. Well, it's very simple. Through pride, feeling with pride for a good deed, thinking about what we have realized, contaminates us. Pride is an enemy when it comes to learning. It removes the possibility to learn, to listen to the teachings. So, to get this knowledge about how to act properly, where should we get? The Bhagavad Gita gives the answer in its Dialogue 4. Sri Krishna reveals that not having desire for the fruit of action and renouncing the recognition for the good deed is the secret. One must always offer his act to divine or the divinity and must have the goal to improve Dharma. Instead of expecting recognition for the good deed, he should fulfill the words of his Guru and the secret teachings, the Shastra. As we are all children of Isha, according to Dharma, we do not possess anything. Everything belongs to Isha. Therefore, we should not have the desire for the fruits of the actions or to possess anything. Shri Krishna comes to Arjuna with his immense powers and divine force, having no other goal than the improvement of Dharma. He has no desire for recognition or benefits at all. Shri Krishna is a very good example for us to follow. When we offer our acts to the divinity, the divine returns it, but not the expected way. The word of the divine we should imagine like a big kamandalu, where it is a place where students of a master or members of a sangha deposit their offerings. Everything they offer, they deposit in the kamandalu, and the master distributes it according to his own will. The same thing happens with the divine, because when we offer something to the divinity, we should not expect to get what we expect. Many times, the divinity will return the offerings with challenges to test us, or silence, or bitterness, even though what we offer is sweetness. So, in front of the divinity, we should be like students, with patience and acceptance, knowing that we always get what corresponds to us. Just like when we are in front of a master, we have to be obedient and we have to be patient and we have to accept the teaching the master thinks is correct for us. That is a base for learning. To become a sage, we all must go through a process and learn with two things: humility and gratitude. These two keys for learning are expressed in being silent, having an attentive attitude, listening, memorizing the teachings, and giving time for corrections. The expression of gratitude is learning and sharing the teachings. The definition of a sage, according to Shastra, is not someone who has a lot of knowledge on the scripture or the world itself. A sage is someone who knows how to act. Knowing how to act is the result of being a sage who already went through a process of learning. From the Bhagavad Gita, we know that the sage acts renouncing recognition and the fruit of his action. He knows how to offer, and he knows how to share his merits. So you are recommended to follow the spiritual science of the Veda if you have the good karma and the luck to access to it. Take refuge in it and apply it in your life. Cultivate a contemplative life to create mindfulness, to have a concentrated, alert mind, and to see action in non-action and non-action in the action. And to generate avarana, which is to generate avadana, not to generate avarana. To have a skilled mind and no dispersed mind. Meditate to remove I-ness, the egoism, and to silence the body and the mind. Gurudeva also recommends that ask for blessings from the gurus and the gods. Is very important to have the firmness and the solidity in your actions throughout all day. So it is recommended that you greet your guru to seal your day with blessings. This way, your life and your actions become sacred. Why is it important? Because everything which is not sacred is doomed to hell and suffering. Cause of suffering is avidya. In Sanskrit, it means ignorance. It is one of the two sciences that mentioned in the Upanishads. The opposite science is called vidya. It is the contrary to avidya. It is the enlightening knowledge which joins us to dharma and guarantees well-being. All knowledge rooted in ignorance brings suffering. So vidya is to remove avidya and has two levels which are revealed to us by the sages. Aparavidya, the less elevated one, it sheds light on how to connect myself to the existence, how to relate with the forests, the animals, the planets, other people, my emotions, and all that surrounds me. Aparavidya is the knowledge from the tattva, from the element. It is not the most elevated knowledge, but aparavidya is the vehicle or the tool to arrive to paravidya. Paravidya is the ultimate aim. It provides this knowledge of the self. To know myself, I need to know myself. Who am I? To know myself beyond thought, action, my words, my emotions. I need to know myself beyond all these things because most of the time and most of what I feel, what I think, what I do, what I say, according to my own criteria, is usually in the field of no dharma or adharma, which is the opposite of dharma. And thinking, acting, feeling in no dharma creates suffering, creates personal health and individual negativity, negative world and state of consciousness. So therefore in the Kali Yuga, which is full of ignorance and darkness, there is even more necessity to learn the dharmic way, following the path of the gurus, the will of the gods, not to fall in the hands of the demonic powers, and not to create individual and common mental health and hellic stages of consciousness. But As a conclusion, if you are not yet a knower of the Vedas or have no access to it, then Gurudeva recommends that you take refuge in other religious ideas or spiritualities until the time you earn the adhikara to study the immense wisdom and the spiritual science of the Vedic culture. Thank you. Oh